Okay, so in this video, I'm going to read growth and development topic of ESI. In the last two videos, we have covered ESI two topics, and now this is going to be the third topic. And let's begin right away. ESI topic number 3, growth and development. Economic growth. It measures the change in output or GDP over a certain period of time. It refers to increase in the production of goods and services in an economy. It includes increase in capital goods, labor, technology, and human capital. Economic growth is equal to change in GDP upon previous year's GDP into 100. Yes, this formula is correct. Economic development. It is a broader concept. It deals with other socio-economic indicators like poverty, unemployment, gender equality, health, education, etc., along with aspects of economic growth. Thus, economic growth only signifies the quantitative aspects of an economy, while economic development signifies both quantitative and qualitative aspects of the economy. Economic development is subjective. Economic growth. The term economic growth is identified as the process whereby the country's real national per capita income increases over a period of time. Features of economic growth: increase in national income and per capita income, increase in real national income, and not just the increase in money income or the national income. Increase in real income should be over a long period. Increase in income should be based on increase in productive capacity. Increase in income can be sustained only when there is increase results from some durable increase in productive capacity of the economy, like modernization or use of new technology in production, strengthening of infrastructure like transport networks, improved electricity generation, etc. Factors affecting economic growth. Economic factors. Natural resources. For economic growth, the existence of natural resources in abundance is essential. A country deficient in natural resources may not be in position to develop rapidly. However, the availability of rich natural resources is a necessary condition. Economic factors include natural resources, capital formation, technological progress, entrepreneurship, human resource development, social overheads. Non-economic factors include political factors, social and psychological factors, education, desire for material betterment. Economic development. Economic development is a wider concept than economic growth. Apart from growth of GDP, it includes economic changes that are necessary to fulfill the wider objectives of ensuring more equitable income distribution, greater employment opportunity, and poverty alleviation. This is called economic development. Economic development is equal to economic growth plus change, according to Kindleberger. Whereas economic growth merely refers to a rise in output, economic development implies a change in technological and institutional organization of production as well as distributive patterns of income. Quality of life as focus of economic development. The challenge of development is to improve the quality of life, especially in the world's poor countries. A better quality of life generally calls for higher incomes, but it involves much more. It encompasses as ends in themselves: better education, higher standards of health and nutrition, less poverty, a cleaner environment, more quality of opportunity, greater individual freedom, and richer cultural life. Three core values of development. Goalet mentions three core values of development. They are life sustenance, self-esteem, and freedom from servitude. Amartya Sen's concept of development capability approach. Amartya Sen argues that economic growth cannot be treated as end in itself. Development has to be more concerned with enhancing the lives we lead and the freedom we enjoy. Amartya Sen, according to Amartya Amartya saying poverty cannot be measured properly by income or even the goods or services available to the people as conventionally accepted. What matters is not the things that a person has, but what a person can do or does with those things. According to Sen, we need to think beyond the availability of resources. We must address the functionings, what a person does with the commodities. For example, acquiring a computer will not add to the well-being of a person who has never used a computer. Sen defines capabilities as the freedom that a person has in terms of the choice of functioning given his personal features and commands over commodity. Capabilities are determined by factors including income, duty, income, education, health, environment, gender discrimination, etc. Fine. Inclusive growth. According to OECD, inclusive growth is an economic growth that creates opportunity for all segments of the population and distributes the dividends of increased prosperity both in monetary and non-monetary terms fairly across society. I think everybody knows what is inclusive growth, and there are dimensions: social, economic, political, and environmental. Need of inclusive growth in India to alleviate poverty, multidimensional poverty, rural-centric, intergenerational poverty. Growth alone is insufficient. Access to productive assets, human capital formation, poverty. Then inclusive growth is necessary. Then we have inequality, income and wealth inequality, regional inequality, rural urban divide, social inequality. Then we have unemployment. India faces open unemployment, disguised unemployment in agriculture, underemployment, structural unemployment. Challenges to inclusive growth in India: persistent poverty. While poverty levels have declined over the years, persistent poverty, unequal distribution of resources, social and structural barriers, regional disparities, high dependence on the informal sector, skill gaps, and educational mismatch. These are just challenges to inclusive growth. Strategies of achieving inclusive growth. Universal basic income. This is important. Universal basic income is a periodic cash payment unconditionally delivered to all irrespective of their contribution to the economy. It characterizes the basic income in 5 divisions: periodic, cash payment, individual, universal, unconditional. Skill development. Increasing insurance coverage. Yes, these are some of the mechanisms to achieve inclusive growth. Measuring inclusive growth. Comparing economic growth and economic development. So this is a difference between. It refers to increase in the real output of goods, implies change in income, savings. Growth rate relates to gradual increase in one component of the gross consumption. Okay. Development relates to growth of human capital, decrease in inequality figures. Effect. Economic growth brings quantitative changes in the economy. This will bring qualitative. Developing and least developed countries. Also refers to advanced economies. Developed countries possess high levels of industrialization, a superior standard of living, and well-developed infrastructure. Okay, these are just tiny 5th standard level concepts. Human development. Human development is a multidimensional concept. It includes economic, social, cultural, political, and environmental aspects that contribute to human well-being. Idea of human development was introduced by Dr. Mahbub ul Haq. Haq has described human development as development that enlarges people's choices and improve their lives. Fine. This is about human development. 4 pillars of human development: equity, sustainability, productivity, and empowerment. Approaches to human development: income approach, welfare approach, minimum needs approach, and capability approach. What is income approach? This is one of the oldest approach. Human development is seen as being linked to income. Okay. Welfare approach. This approach argues for higher government expenditure on education, health and social security and amenities. Minimum needs. 6 basic needs include health, education, food, water supply, sanitation, housing were identified. Measuring human development. By human development is measured by Human Development Index by UN Development Program. Dimensions and indicators. Long and health life. Life expectancy at birth. Knowledge. Expected years of schooling, mean years of schooling, standard of living, GNI per capita. Score is from 0 to 1. Classification of countries based on score. High human development, HDI 0.8 and above. High human development 7.9 and very low human development is below 0.55. Okay, so that was it, the basic approach of economic growth versus economic development, and this can be very helpful in phase 2. Not in, I don't think so this is very useful in phase 1. So that was it for this video. I will be back with another video of the next topic. Thank you, stay tuned.